Yeah, as mentioned, this is Super Sami Roll. It's a 3D precision platformer, which is very different from what I normally run, being mainly a 2D platforming kind of guy. But there's plenty of places in the run where it could go absolutely wrong, and plenty of places where it could look very impressive if it doesn't go wrong. So we'll just get going and take the commentary as we go along. So timing starts here when I click on relaxed, and the reason why we're playing on relaxed mode, some people might have a question why we don't play on the hardest difficulty. It's just faster. There's a few skips and stuff that is performed while playing on relaxed mode. So if everybody is ready, I'll give a countdown from 3, 2, 1, go. And we're off. So first things first, we're skipping all the introduction cutscenes. We don't want to watch those. And first stage, very, very quick. Takes about a second to beat. That's not indicative of what's gonna be happening for the rest of the run. This stage has a skip that could save you about 2 seconds if you perform it like the first try. The problem is it's very inconsistent, so I never really go for it in runs. But for IL attempts, you definitely want to go for those. Basically, this entire game has 2 sets of skill or like strats, both for IL and for RTA. And here, coming up on this stage, we already have some small tricks going on that is hard to see. But if you jump very late out of a ledge, you actually get a little bit of a speed boost, which makes it like easier to clear gaps and just like clear stages a little bit quicker. There will be a lot of that moving forward. Oops. Here's a big skip. That skips a massive portion of the stage. And as you can see, Sami has a few tricks that we can do. Namely, we can ground pound and we can stick our tongue out to latch onto things, just like so. And that's used throughout the entire run to cut major portions of stage. Here's another little skip coming up where we bounce all the way across there. Beautiful. Tricky wall jumping there. So each world has its own theme, but there will be stages that kind of repeat. Like the theme of the stages will repeat throughout the entire run. So this is our raceway kind of stage. Kamehame Grumble Rumble is another really quick stage because we can go around the side here and skip basically the whole stage. I just need to wait for that guy because I was a little bit slow. Push this button, wait for the platforms to come down, and that's it. The stage has been beat. You see, all the stages are done pretty quickly. This one too, this is a pretty long stage with a massive skip, which is really difficult, and my heart is racing now because I'm very inconsistent with this. Yeah, there we go. That's first try. It saves about 40 seconds to get, so even if you have to attempt this a few times, you save a lot of time. And I'm trying to jump really late off the edge, which is why it's only just possible if you jump basically after Sami has left the platform. This is going beautifully. But I'm not going to revert back to doing any of the stages like normally. If I don't get these tricks, I have a lot of time in my estimate for these exact things, because it is a very unforgiving game. That should make it. There we go. Thank you, thank you. So that skips basically the entire stage. We still have to wait a little bit here at the end for the cycles. Because touching the water, as you saw happen a few times, is just a insta-death. Get up to the... Whoops. Almost missed the bird there, or the owl. Okay. That stage is done. That's one of my... my big worry moments is how that stage went, so... Okay, onwards. This is another really quick stage. Not any like massive skips. We can go a little bit out of... There we go. Oops. A little bit out of the normal way there to go a little bit faster. A lot of the stages will be like that, where we go the somewhat intended route, but just take a lot of corner cuts and stuff like that. Tip Top Tongue course is pretty hard, namely because I play on keyboard versus playing on mouse and keyboard, or sorry, playing on controller. And you'll see here in a second if I get this jump across here. So here, the camera will auto-turn, but you're not supposed to go up this way. That is much more manageable if you're playing on a controller, where you can easily control the camera with your thumb while using your other thumb for movement. Here, having to spin around with my mouse and stuff is a little bit a detriment, but I am pretty bad at 3D platforming on a controller. So here's our first instance of checkpoint abuse. This is one of the reasons why, whoops, I'll just restart that. One of the reasons why we play on relaxed mode is you can activate checkpoints from like below them or above them, and it makes it so you can skip big portions of stages. Besides that, all the small coins that you see me pick up is they give you time allowed on the stage. Since we play on relax, we don't have to worry about any time, and that makes it so we don't have to go out of our way to pick up points. So we can actually skip major portions of stages that is not possible to be skipped if you play on advanced mode. This stage is probably one of the biggest skips in the game. See if I get it first try, and I did. Beautiful. That's the entire stage skip with a very precise jump. It looks super easy, but it's not, trust me. Same goes for this stage. We wanna jump across here and grab here, jump a little bit backwards, and there we go. That was the stage. And besides that little mishap on Rise, Sink, and Repeat, this is going okay. Coming up on the last stage of World 1 here. And we do have boss fights at the end of each world, which I'm not a fan of because they're RNG heavy. So you can play really well throughout all the platforming, get to the boss, get really bad luck, and you just lose oceans of time. Really annoying for PB attempts. Beautiful. That's one of my favorite stages, by the way, in this world. Quick explanation before we send it over to some messages while I defeat this boss. Each of these end stages in a world are like this. It's like a tower you have to climb, and the camera is locked here, which makes it really awkward to play on mouse and keyboard because... Oh, come on. Sami will only stick his tongue out in the direction he is facing, and normally I will move the camera around to face in different directions. You can't do that here, so it's just really awkward. But yeah, while I fight this 3-phase RNG boss, go ahead and give us a few messages.
Sure, I would just like to remind all of our lovely viewers that we've already raised $8,077 for Alzheimerfonden. Good job, but we're still on the mission to reach that $100,000. The World Health Organization classifies dementia as one of the world's greatest health problems. Just over 47 million people are affected. It is estimated that the number of dementia diseases in the world will have tripled by 2050. If you want to help us stop Alzheimer, make sure to donate. Buy something from the Speedrun store, cheer, or sub, because all revenue from all of these sources is going straight to Alzheimerfonden in full. Thanks all of you for all of your wonderful donations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I actually skipped the phase. That's a little bit RNG heavy if you're able to skip a phase or not on the boss, and we were. Oh, I missed that. So this is actually a setup we call the Milker, named after the famous Milk himself. Some of you might know him. He ran this game a little bit, or at least did some IELTS, and he found this setup for skipping this stage. Normally we had another setup which was very, very inconsistent. This is a little bit slower, but in terms of RTA, you want to go for this setup instead. Okay, stage 2-2 has a very tricky jump here in the beginning that looks not so tricky, but so you might notice that when Sami is able to latch onto something, there's a white marker going out of his his mouth, basically. You have no time. If you see the marker, it's already too late. You won't make the jump. So you have to preemptively stick your tongue out, knowing exactly where and what timing. And the reason why I restarted from checkpoint by taking damage there is because all the cycles would be misaligned. Our first instance of going through a pipe, we do a little bit funny audio glitch there. Beautiful. And the music in this game is actually really banger. I like it a lot. Alright, our first like fully vertical stage. Oh, that was a lot of small skipping. Can you hang on? There we go. A lot of small skipping, like here it's just possible. Oh, if I didn't mess up, it would have been possible to just narrowly escape those pink waves. At least we didn't get a hit, which is good. Some very narrow platforming up here, which I'm not the best at. Oh, that's. I wanted to take a corner cut. I shouldn't have. It's all good though. It's not the biggest time loss ever. We'll just actually go a little bit slow on these. And these might seem a little bit skinny, but compared to what we'll see later in the game, these are very wide platforms. There we go. There we go. Not too bad, not too bad. We'll have plenty of moments later on where it can go horribly wrong. So here is our first like massive skip, I guess, of World 2 that can be a little bit tricky, or I think I got it, yeah. So you want to get a ledge jump there where you jump like after you've left the edge, basically. You have like a few frames to actually jump after you left the edge. And if you don't get that, you won't make that jump. There's a few different setups, but that's just the most consistent. This stage does not have that many things that we can do. This is pretty straightforward. We just have to make it through. Here at the end, though, there will be a little bit of a skip after this checkpoint. It is actually possible to go from this checkpoint all the way to the end, but it is very hard and inconsistent. So instead we do that and skip like 30% of the stage or so. Uh-oh. Oh, that's bad. I didn't get enough speed off the little booster there. Okay, I'm just gonna, because I missed that jump. There we go. And here we have to stall a little bit on this platform, just enough, like that. Otherwise you'll jump straight into the snake and die. Nothing in this game kills you from touching like enemies and stuff. You can get into a never-ending cycle of just taking damage, being bonked back into damage and so on, which is very frustrating. But a lot of times if you take damage, you get bonked like out of bounds basically, or like into the sand or the water or whatever might be the hazard on the stage, and you have to start over. So taking damage is not ideal. Have to make it over here, and that skips a major portion of the stage again. Again, like many other stages, this one also has a even faster skip that I don't go for. It's just very hard to do on mouse and keyboard. Rushed and Bomb 2. This stage I'm a little bit nervous about, because right here in the beginning, yeah, that one might take me a few attempts. It doesn't even save that much time, but it's so ingrained in me and in my runs that I always go for this, and I do want to show off as much as I can of all these cool little skips. This is another instance of if you see the white marker, it's too late to jump basically, and you will have to restart. So you have to preemptively stick your tongue out knowing where it is. And I might actually just go around this slow way soon here if it is. There we go. It's not over yet though. No, you know what? I'm not gonna... You can actually skip all the way to the left here by jumping across, but that's another finicky jump that doesn't save a lot of time. So for the sake of not losing even more, we'll just go this way. Beautiful. So now we don't have to do that skip again. We got the checkpoint. Also banger, banger. Ooh, that was really close. So we don't want to touch these bumpers. They will eject you super fast. And I just took it a little bit slow there to make sure. And this is annoying. I have to like stay behind it and slow down a little bit. Okay, blade spikes and cannons. Really cool stage. Very frustrating in speedruns because usually this is like, if you don't get this first try, you lose so much time that it's a reset. And all those like tongue wall jumps are really finicky. The amount of time you have to... So basically how it works is like, you stick your tongue out, you latch onto a wall, and you press jump out of it to get a little bit of a forward speed boost. Just like so. And the timing for that, for some of those where you have spikes at the top of the wall, can be really like unforgiving. Tubular. This is a cool stage here in the beginning. See if I get it. I did get it. That's a corner boost. What do you want to call it? Oh, that's bad. So I lost all the speed I got from the corner boost. But basically, if you ground pound just into a corner or ledge or whatever, like very precisely, you'll just go flying forward. And you can carry your momentum throughout this entire stage if done correctly. Whoops. There's not much avoiding that. If you're on the trajectory of hitting one of those, you can't really slow down. It's just gonna happen. Okay, Speedy Circuit Dash. Very, very short stage because it is possible to skip basically the entire thing if I don't just jump to my death. I got a ground pound on this ledge there, but not like that. I don't want to get sent backwards. Oh, geez. There we go. If I can, there we go. And across here, and another skip right here. Skipping that. Oh, I missed the actual booster. It's fine, I'll just go around. So we're bleeding a lot of time overall in small places, but there's also places later in the game where there's a lot of time saved to be had over like my PB, for example, which is 55 minutes something. I don't have it submit to speedrun.com right now because I'm unsatisfied. I have a lot of time that can be saved on this run. So while my estimate seems really high, it's based on the last marathon run I did where it sadly went really poorly. And it's one of the stages coming up really soon that could go horribly, horribly wrong. It went really well in practice, so it's obviously gonna go horribly wrong here at the actual run. This stage is pretty cool, very frustrating too. That skips, I'll just show you real quick, that's all the stage, it's massive. You skip all of that. And going across here, oh, I didn't get the jump. This is another case of having to jump after you've left the ledge. So the window of time to jump is pretty small. I don't think, oh, I actually got it with an early jump. That's just not that easy to do. Beautiful. So coming up on the end here of World 2, another stage like these with an RNG boss. The only difference is we can skip most of the stage with this one by going across there. Well, get in the pipe, please. And normally you could go all the way up, but again, since the camera lock is so hard to deal with on mouse and keyboard, I'll go the long way. And if you have any messages while we do this boss, you can go ahead. It's just another like 3 phases, 3 bombs we have to hit him with.
Sure. I would like to read one of the quotes from researchers supported by Alzheimer Foundation, Professor Ingmar Skog. We can now follow completely normal people in the population for several years until they fall ill or do not fall ill at all with dementia, which gives us the opportunity to find clues to prevent, make an early diagnosis, and treat the disease. So this is what's happening right now. This is what's possible through your donations to Alzheimer Foundation. So keep those donations coming. All of them are going straight and in full to Alzheimer's Foundation, as well as all the subs, all the bits, and all revenue collected by us from the Speedrun store. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, breaking the ice. This has probably one of the hardest skips in the game, and where I lost minutes last marathon, so hopefully I get this within a few tries. But basically what's happening is we go through half the stage here, line ourselves up with this cycle and this blowy guy, jump across with a very precise jump. That was really close. You can overshoot it and you can undershoot it. If you undershoot, you have a tiny bit of chance you can save yourself basically by sticking your tongue out. It is very hard to do so because you have to react like split second. Let's see how this goes. The second try. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. That's very nice. Second try. Beautiful. That saves about 40 seconds to do first try. So second try is like still 30 seconds time save or something. Mount on the Ridge. Really like this stage actually. In general, I do not like World 3 because it's ice physics, so I didn't really talk much about that. Sami is rolling all the time. There's no walking animation. So you're constantly rolling as a ball, which has like weird, physics of rolling as a ball. Combine that with ice physics, where you just don't like slow down when you want to, and acceleration is really slow and all that stuff. It makes for some really tricky platforming actually. And this portion I kind of hate because these, get up, please, okay. One hit is fine. That can like loop and loop and loop, and you just keep taking damage, so that's okay. Ice on the Road is a really, really long stage with no massive skips. We will skip something, we always do. But even with the skip, this is like a 1 minute stage. More than 1 minute actually. So we go up on this ledge, get a ground pound, jump across here, and that skips the first half of the stage. Jumping on this all the way across here. It's just barely possible. And now we're at the end of the stage, but it's not over yet. There's still all of this bouncing here, which can be a little bit tricky. Oh, we got it. Okay. Easy. So normally that's like a 2-3 minute long stage, and we did it in 45 seconds, so that's pretty good. Another pretty long stage here that's unforgiving in terms of it's at the end of the stage that you might lose it or like die, and the time loss is obviously big then. But for this beginning of the stage, we will be skipping most by just mash wall jumping up here, skipping that entire portion down there. Bling, 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 bling. Tricky portion here, where I do not want to take, because it's fastest to go across. So you can actually lick and cancel your lick on basically anything in the game. Enemies, stage obstacles and stuff like that. So you can be really creative with how you want to beat these stages. There's obviously some pretty set in stone routes for what's fastest, but coming into this game as a new player, you have so many options to how you want to beat stages. And this is where it normally goes wrong if it goes wrong, because if you take damage from these, you're just ejected from the stage. So that went pretty well. You see, that was a long stage, 1 minute and 16. Frosty Tower Ascent took me a long time to get down. We don't want to do any of the stage. What we want to do is this. And it's a matter of getting a good rhythm. And the inputs for this are a little bit hard because I gotta like jump backwards, jump back into the wall. So I'm constantly changing between forwards and backwards jumping. But that went like, that was perfect. That could not have gone any better. The third rushed and bump stage, and also the last of those, the longest of them. Get a little bit of a speed boost there. To make it across. These platforms here are very finicky, because if you roll as you like get onto them, Sami will basically just keep rolling in place and the platform disappears underneath you. So I dislike those, and we sadly have to do that a few times with this stage. Up there's a secret owl. Every single stage will have a secret, not every single stage, sorry. There will be secret exits for some of the stages that unlocks keys inside secret stages, and whoops. After you take the secret exit and unlock the secret stage, you complete all the secret stages and get all the keys. There's actually an additional 5th world to the game that we won't be doing in this run because this is just 80%. But this game has a lot of content, and depending on what time is like when we're done here, I will be showing maybe some additional content to the game, which is really cool. I have no... I shouldn't say too much, but I just don't have much to say about this stage. It's an auto-scroller in the middle of our super cool platforming game, and it's so boring, and it's just like if you die here, you lose a minute. So, take it away, Poker.
Of course, we have a $50 donation from Thatcher. I hope I'm reading this right. Great causes need time, and that's why the runners with their utmost speed will help shorten the time for these causes, even if they don't receive anything in return. So have fun, donate, and help a great cause. And that $50 went for the Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time Any % No Major Glitches Community Dap incentive, which is now at $1,778 out of the goal of $2,000. So we are just $222 short. So let's get that met quickly, because then we will see the community voiceover for Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time. Thank you so much for all of your donations so far. Keep them coming, and remember, we have some wonderful incentives open just for you. One of them is, for example, a glitch exhibition happening in Prey that needs $1,000, and we are at 97 just now, so we need a bit more to get that done, but we surely want to see some additional glitches to Prey. So thank you so much for your donations so far, and keep them coming. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. The hardest part about this stage is that whenever Sami lands after a jump, he will make a like micro jump. If you mistime your jump input in that time frame where he's like in the air from the micro jump, it feels like the inputs get eaten. It doesn't. It's just like you were not on the ground when trying to jump, so effectively you will not be jumping. That's the only skip we can do for that stage. It's like the checkpoint skip I did, and at the end there you save like 2 seconds overall. It's very minuscule. Here's the next gimmick stage, where we have to wait again. We have to wait for these wind cycles here. There is a little bit of trickery we can do here coming up in a few seconds, but it's very minor. Basically, this is just like those 2 stages back to back, the one we just did and this one, I am not a huge fan of in the run. It's just the pacing is very slow compared to all the other stages. So there we do a checkpoint skip, skipping a little bit of the stage, nothing massive. And I'm trying to skip a cycle here coming up, so hopefully everything goes correctly. So I jump, jump, bam. Instead of waiting, I'll just go straight for this one. That went really well. And instead of waiting behind this rock, it's just possible if you jump over that little bridge of wood. If you roll over the bridge of wood, you can't make it. You have to jump over it. Oh, wrong way. Toxicity City. Really, really dope stage. Sadly, we won't be seeing much of it. And it's a really long stage too, and really cool casually. But it was discovered that the owl is right up there, and since you can just like infinitely wall jump on stuff, you can actually just go straight to the to the end there. So it becomes like a very uninteresting stage, sadly. But overall, is one of my favorites casually. This is the worst stage. And it is the worst stage because of these platform cycles that are very tight. That's just the beginning of the stage. Later on in the stage, you'll see what happens. And it's a pretty long stage too, so I'm waiting this out just to make sure. Jump. Hard ice physics here with like the penguins. If I touch the penguins, I just get ejected. Just like that. I saved it though. We're almost at the first checkpoint, which is always a big relief for this stage. The problem is, it's after the checkpoint that all the hard stuff begins, really. So here we just make it across, wait for these cycles here. And here comes the fast portion with some drifting across the wall there. This is the hardest part this year. Oh. Please make it. Okay. That was really sketchy. And I'm purposely taking a little bit of a time loss here. I always do that in my runs to make sure this penguin sadly sees his demise. And these platforms, again, really tight. Doing that stage first try is very nice. Very, very nice. That can be minutes of time loss if it goes wrong. This stage is pretty cool. Never Melt Ice Palace. It's quite long. There's no skips at all. This is just a matter of tricky platforming and hopefully being good at the game, which I can't always say that I am. I just in general don't have a lot of experience with these types of games. I just found this, fell in love instantly, and ejected all the way back to the beginning of the stage. That's how easy it can go wrong. It was actually through the Chameleon Twist community that I found this game, which was an overlap from Yoshi Story, which I normally run. So this is the third tongue game that I play. You know what? We'll just go the since we don't have the speed anymore from going. This is why I never go. So you'll see what happens if you start taking damage. You'll just get stun locked essentially. Okay, don't get hit by this penguin, please. Thank you. And it was right in front of the checkpoint, of course, so that was just a really dumb death there. These platforms are a little bit tricky because, again, it is ice physics, so I am, as you can see, I am drifting. And they're not that wide. Whoa! That was good. There's a lot of close moments in this game for sure. Not just in this run right now, but just in general. Okay, I'm just waiting out this cycle to make sure I don't die, because we're right in front of the checkpoint. Alright. Do a ground pound, jump over him. I might be on a wrong cycle here, so I'm slowing down. Okay, go, 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 go. Those guys will, as you saw from the skip we did on the first stage of this world, they will blow you off the platform. Hopefully we get on a good cycle here and don't take damage. And now it just keeps going. So that's why taking damage, you saw that a few times in this stage. Taking damage in this game is horrible. You lose so much time. Okay, a Chilling Chase. This is a really cool stage with a gimmick of being chased by these flames. And we will be doing some trickery to despawn the flames coming up here in a little bit, because they're really annoying to have to deal with, because they force you to go fast and you can't really do any skips. So restarting the checkpoint there and going to the right of that little rock, that skips. There you go. Now the flames are not after us for the rest of the stage, unless I die. If I die, they come back. So hopefully we make it to the end without screwing up. I'm just taking it slow on these little platforms here. So we got the checkpoint, but again, if I die and go back to the checkpoint, the flame will have respawned. And you're supposed to touch all these buttons and get various mushrooms to like get a platform up here. But again, with some tricky wall jumping, you can actually skip all of that. And it's a little bit harder than it looks to do those jumps. Alright, the third Tower of Chaos stage, probably my least favorite. Again, because of the camera lock, it just makes this really awkward. Oh, come on up, please. Oh, don't, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, I got out. And we want to make it over this ledge there. There we go. So this is the third RNG boss, probably the fastest and easiest of all of them, but still, if you have any messages or donations you want to read off, it's the perfect time to do so.
Perfect. We actually have a $40 donation from username Nils. Sorry. Well, hats off to Sami, because if I were to race like that, it would leave a bad taste in my mouth. I tried once, but I couldn't quite lick it. Thank you very much. That $40 goes to the Prince of Persia incentive. So we are just $182 short of the $2,000 goal to have Prince of Persia with the community-made voiceover. So let's get that pretty quickly. Out of all of the other incentives you have available, for example, for Retro City Rampage, you can choose the color palette, and there are quite a few to choose from. For example, Black and White, GTA 3, My Eyes, PC DOS, or Virtual Boy. So make sure to get in on that. Thank you so much for all of your donations so far.
Thank you very much, guys. This has a massive skip that is pretty precise. Again, oh, I got it first try. Beautiful. You have to jump after having left the ledge, and it's only just possible. The amount of times I've died right there at the very end is staggering. Like you finally get the skip in the beginning on like 15th try or something, and you just die at the end. So thankfully that didn't happen. And as you can tell, the theme of this last world is lava. The music is oh my, he wanted me gone. The music is really dope. I like this a lot. It's like the perfect ending to a run. It's like hype and fast-paced. Hey, we just jump across. We don't want to do this stage. We just, again, wall jump abuse. Make it up here, please. There we go. This is actually a slower stage than the alternative stage that we could take. So you see sometimes there's like a branching path. The other stage is actually faster, but it's significantly harder, and I never learned. It's very minor, like you save maybe 5 seconds. But technically, I did the slower stage. This is a nightmare fuel stage. It is really long. Oops. It is cycle-based. It has checkpoints on the halfway point only, so if you die, it's like half the stage you have to do again. And these platforms are, you can't go as fast as you want, you have to wait. And stuff like that bothers me a little bit when trying to go fast. Oh, oh, please, Sami. Please, Samuel. He's like perfectly aligned with me now with his cycle. Can I? Okay, we got over him. Beautiful. More of these blade guys. here comes the hardest portion of the stage, which is obviously right at the end. We have to ride this platform while these guys are shooting at us. And this first one is not too hard because it's just a singular guy, and now we have to jump over both at the same time. Wait one more time. I'm just waiting out this cycle because it was a little bit awkward there. Wait again. There you go. First tried that stage as well, which is really nice. I don't think my PB loses a lot of time there, but just the fact that I didn't lose time now is very nice. This stage, I always do so bad. So I took it a little bit slow there because I always die like 5 times in the beginning trying to go super fast, and it just doesn't pay off. Oh. Could you stop that? Okay. We can just barely make it across here without getting damaged. This stage has a really cool skip at the very end though. That skips a pretty significant portion of the stage. And that is right here. We go on this balloon. You see the owl was up there. So if I line myself in the middle, just like that, we can actually skip all the words again. Okay, Trial by Fire is another stage with a camera lock that makes this very awkward to do. Just in general, like the camera lock stages are awkward, but even more so on mouse and keyboard. Because again, I am locked to W, A, S, and D movement to control Sami's direction. Oh, get up, please. Where normally I would aim my mouse in the direction I want to stick my tongue out. So here we're going a little bit in there, taking the checkpoint, restarting, so hopefully this guy's cycle is aligned. Go to this corner, do not get a corner jump, perfect. If you get a corner jump, you get ejected way too far and you miss this. But you can see down there how much we just skipped. And these bangers are just insane. Oh, get up, please. No way that just happened. I just overshot it. It's fine though, it's not a big deal. But that's annoying. You can actually soft lock if you lick those poles at just the wrong way. I don't even know how. You can actually soft lock them. Oh. Okay. Okay. These are the easy stages of this world. The last 2 stages are insanely hard, and we'll talk more about that when we get there, but they're not easy at all. I really like the theme of these stages though. Reminds me of like Super Mario Sunshine, secret stages. Oh, please, okay. There we do have to do some tricky lick cancelling to get over. Oh, I'm actually just gonna... There we go. The same here, and if you take damage, like you'll see here, it's really slow, but you will make it up. It's just extremely slow. So you don't want to have that happening. See if I get on a good cycle. I'm just waiting a second here. I jumped straight into it. Okay, not too bad. Please make it. Okay. And jump all the way across here. Just skipping a little bit off the stage as well there. No, okay. Of course, the last one missed. Not too bad though. Again, a really long stage that can go horribly wrong, so that was okay. This stage though is another really long one where sadly dying is very time consuming because there's only a singular checkpoint which is very far into the stage. You can actually go a little bit faster by not going up here and taking this speed boost. The problem is the jump down here becomes very tight if you don't have the speed. So I'll usually just go for that little 2-3 second time loss to make sure that I actually make it across. And here it wants us to take these portals, which I do not like doing. So instead we'll... And that's right in front of the checkpoint. That's exactly what I didn't want to have happen. And that's basically my own mistake or own fault for not taking the portal. The problem is the way that the portals eject you and you have to land on a moving platform becomes really, really awkward. We'll have to do that a few times in this stage, so... Please make it over. Thank you. Oh, that's... okay. At least we did it. We'll try this again, though. Please don't get hit. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. Okay, wait for this platform. Try again. If you have any messages, this would be a perfect time while I get back there, because there's no point in me like commentating on that the third time. But you go ahead, Poker.
Yeah, sure I do. I have $10 from Nico Hart saying, "Let's meet that Prince of Persia incentive. Great job on the run so far, LoveBot. Keep being awesome." And those $10 obviously go to the Prince of Persia Community Dub incentive. And we are right now $172 short out of the $2,000 goal. So keep donating, keep choosing that as your incentive of choice for your donations, and we will soon be there and we will unlock the voiceover, the community dub for Prince of Persia. So thank you so much for your donations so far and keep them coming.
Thank you very much, guys. And yeah, we did get it a third try or on a third attempt there. But now we have to do it again. This one is a little bit worse though. Hopefully I should be lined up perfectly. Oh, okay. That's another point where dying is very possible. Okay. Okay. We're through. We're through. So he's coming up. TikTok tower or TikTok clock, we kind of call it. This stage is also completely skipped. We don't do anything that we're supposed to do. It's very finicky, but I will try to mash my way all the way up this pole in the middle here. Perfect. Jump across here. On the gears and do not get squished in the middle of them. Because you can actually... oh, this is awkward. You can actually get squished and die in between those. Okay, that's the worst part done. Just make this cycle. Thank you. So now we just gotta... We don't want to do these platforms either. We just do some tricky wall jumping and up we go. Alright, we're almost at the end. Volcanic Rain Rampage has the hardest skip in the game that I will not go for because I won't get it, so there's no point. Instead, we'll have to do the entirety of the stage, which is a cool stage, but you can actually skip directly to the end from the beginning, and it saves like 2 minutes. It's wild. It's the biggest skip in the game, the hardest skip in the game. My runs still don't have it. So I'm just waiting for the day where I'm actually capable of doing it. I think I've gotten it twice ever in practice, and that is just like banging my head against the wall, doing it over and over and over and over again until I got it like once or twice. So it's not consistent enough for me to go for it in marathon runs, that's for sure. Okay, first checkpoint. All the way across here, we don't want to do this normally. And these rocks falling down are a little bit RNG, or not a little bit, they're a lot RNG, and can actually land on your face right in like the direction you're going. So you don't really have much option to not take a hit sometimes. Like that. Beautiful. So the skip goes to this brown platform that we just landed on from the very beginning. So as you can see, that would cut away a pretty big portion of the stage. But we still got it first try, so that's pretty good. Let me see, what is time? 48 minutes, okay. Going pretty well, I guess. few different methods of skipping this stage. The one that I like to do is going across here, and I will be taking the safety checkpoint just by going that little extra distance and picking up the checkpoint, just so that... Could you stop? So that if I should die at the end, I don't have to do that entire wall jump section again. It's not like it loses much time anyway. Okay, beautiful. And here the game kind of teaches you to lick onto enemies to kind of make your way through the stage. It is actually possible, those spikes you saw around the pillar, you can make it around those, and that's the other method of skipping this stage. Here comes the stage I'm probably the most nervous for in total, the worst or hardest stage of World 4. This is pure cycle based. If anything goes wrong, just a tiny little thing goes wrong, I basically have to restart. I basically have to restart now. Yeah. All the cycles will get fully messed up. So this could take a few attempts. The hardest part of this stage is actually the beginning. For me anyway. So it's a matter of getting to the first checkpoint as fast as possible. Or like in as few attempts as possible. Oh, that was good. I have to jump there. Yeah, I had to jump a little bit early, which was awkward. Please don't, please don't. Okay, okay, okay. Resetting at the checkpoint there on purpose, so that all the cycles moving forward are as I want them to be. Whoops. I'm trying to not go the long way around, so we're dipping into the little lava bit there and jumping out. Excuse me? I feel like I was on the platform there, but okay. We just have to do that again. I guess my toes dipped into the lava a little bit. Okay, here I'm purposely waiting for the cycles. Whoa. Same here, purposely waiting a little bit, so that I know it's safe to jump. Okay, go, 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 go. Got the last checkpoint. Beautiful. So now just for a very short segment here for the end. And every movement and jump that I do is very mapped out so that I can actually skip over those lava cycles. Oh, wow. We'll try that again. Would have been beautiful to get that first try, but that did not happen. I can't see. I can't see. I'm dead. Yeah, I couldn't see anything. Oh. Man, this was actually going really well for this stage, and now the tilt is setting in a little bit. But we should be able to beat this here pretty soon. Okay, I'm just waiting here, jumping over that guy. Please make it, please make it. Okay. Whew, okay. Yeah, thank you guys. That is the most nerve-wracking stage, to be honest. This stage I also have a hard time with, just in general. This is a hard stage, but the lava cycles of the other one is just really hard to deal with. So we don't really want to do anything for this stage the intended way. It is both easier and faster to just kind of wall jump all the way across this stuff. Going a little bit this way to pick up the checkpoint, resetting again for cycles. Here comes the very skinny platforms of the game, basically, with some twisty turnies. Okay, just waiting out. We'll go, we'll go. This is very tricky. these platforms disappear under me. And you can't just like hold forward, you have to constantly tap like WS, AD, like constantly. Okay, please make it up to this checkpoint without dying. Okay. And here, we are doing a little bit of a skip to go across here. Oh, I missed it. It's fine. It's not a big time loss to die there. There we go. And if you jump in the wrong way while doing that skip, you will perpetually get sent up into the air by those flames. You just keep going up, 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 and you'll never really land down again. Okay, Tower of Chaos 4. This is the end of the run. This is the last tower stage. It's a little bit different than... Whoa, whoa. It's a little bit different than the others, as in it won't have a boss at the end. It will have a boss afterwards. Oh, come on, please get up there. Okay. And what is time looking like? Oh, this is actually really close to PB. My PB again is like a 55 something. We'll be just above that, but still a very good run actually, compared to the estimate that I set on my last time doing a marathon run. So here it is, the final showdown. The boss that will kill all your runs. It's a pretty okay boss fight, a pretty cool boss fight. The problem is just that it's RNG heavy. So he has 3 different attacks he can do. Only one of them will leave him like vulnerable for an attack. And that's the worst. So he gave us 2 attacks there. So now he will give us the right attack as the 3rd one, which is this. There we go. We have to do that 4 times. The rockets are the worst. They're the slowest. The laser is a one-shot though. The rockets will just like bonk you around and you can actually manage that. But the laser is a one-shot if you get hit. Okay, beautiful RNG there. So don't give us rockets. He didn't give us rockets. That's beautiful. Come on, give us the arm. He's rocketing. Here comes the arm. All right, one more time, and time is coming up as soon as he kills himself, basically, by touching the flame. Okay, give us the arm. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. And time. All right. That was Super Sami Roll, the Sami Adventure. And as I talked about in the beginning, there's a lot of extra content to the game that I think, looking at the timer, we might have time. I don't know if Tech... It'll just be a minute. I just want to quickly show you some other stuff that's in the game. So if Tech allows that, I will quickly show that. Anybody? Thank you, thank you. But yeah, that's a beautiful credit. I'm not gonna let them play out just so we don't take up too much time here. Can I even skip them, actually? Can I even skip credits? They're not long. Usually we just, like, you know, restart the game, but... Yeah, that was Super Sami Roll. Thank you so much for letting me run, though. I will show you... So, there is secret stages to the game that I won't be showing you now because it will just take too long. But there is actually a completely separate game within the game, basically, where you... So the whole premise of the game, so we have to save our friend Vera. And now that we've saved Vera, we can play as her. And it revamps every single stage in the game. And you play as a different character with completely different movesets. So you basically have a completely new game after having beaten the game, which I think is super, super cool. And Right now, the community is split a little bit between Vera runners and Sami runners. I am one of the only Sami runners. People are more interested in Vera right now, and I'll show you that real quick. There we go. So here, Vera's Quest. There's actually also a speedrun mode in the game that has in-game timer and stuff. We just don't run on that because it's a little bit different and we want to run the actual base game. But okay, here is Vera. Hey. And the major difference, we can still like bounce, but we won't have a tongue anymore. Instead, we can glide. And it is actually, well, it is actually possible. It was found that you can infinite glide in the game, or like constantly chain the glides together. I'm not really good at that. I haven't done much of that. But as you can see, it's just a completely different game all of a sudden, with brand new stages and brand new mechanics. But yeah, I won't take much more of your time. Thank you so much for having me, everybody. My name is LoveBot. If you like what you saw, check out more Sami roll runners for sure. Check it out on speedrun.com. There's some really good people out there. Boone and Squid is doing some amazing work on Vera right now. They're really good at the game, both of them. So check those guys out for sure. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Peace.
Before we go, we have 2 more donations to read. We have $5 from Polister, who says, "Hey all, your friendly neighborhood Polister here to thank you for watching my run and all of ESA Winter 2022. I also want to remind you to donate for that community dub incentive. Let's make it happen. Let us." We also have $20 from Spancakes, who says, "Game like Sami make marathons so fun. Not only fun runs, but also a lot of new games to play afterwards." I agree. With that, we are not far away from reaching the Prince of Persia incentives. It's only $147 away until we get the community dub, so let's get that in. We will be right back at you with The Legend of Zelda: A Link Between Worlds after a short intermission, and the file name right now is Zeldude with $100, so make sure to pay attention to that and donate if you want to change that. We will be right back after a short intermission. Thank you.
Have you checked out Speedrun?